Hello and welcome to the two-man power trip of wrestling. Your host JP Jump House with me today. Very special guest, former WWF lightweight champion, the light heavyweight champion, also known as Gilberg, Mr. Dwayne Gill. Welcome in. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, man? How you doing tonight?
Very good. What's going on in your world? What are you up to?
Man, just doing the deal, I just had a little action figure come out. I got another one coming out in like a month. I'm on a video game that's coming out soon called The Wrestling Code, and my biography was just put out called A Grappler's Journey. I'm sorry, A Grappler's Job. I always say journey, but it's A Grappler's Job. It's on Barnes and Noble. If you go on Barnes and Noble and type in Dwayne Gill Senior, brings it right up.
Man, you're busier than ever. You got so much going on right now. The figure and the book, everything else. A lot going
Yes,
on.
sir. Do the deal. You know how it is.
Gilberg never dies, I guess, right? I mean, it's like keeping going all these years later.
Yes, sir. I try to.
What was the experience like doing the book? How did you like doing that?
I loved it. I loved it, to be honest with you. A good friend of mine is the author, and his name's William Blake. He used to be a wrestler, too. He used to wrestle as Ricky Blues, Hard Rock Ricky Blues. And yeah, it was a lot of fun doing it with him.
Do you like going back and visiting memory lane? Some guys say it's a little bit of, like going to the therapist sometimes when you're doing these books.
Not really, because of the fact he was a friend of mine, so we just kind of reminisced a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? And we were talking about things and all.
How did the figure come about? That's awesome. I love that all the guys, from the Attitude Era and all, basically still living today, but like they're getting new action figures in
Yeah, the
2025.
guys from No, this isn't WWE. Figure Collections, Bone Crushing Wrestlers. I was on the first series. Here it is, right here.
Oh, I
It's got
love it.
ah. Yeah, you can go on Bone Crushing Wrestlers or Figure Collections and order that too if you wanted to. I love it, man. Things are finally going my way.
Yeah, there you go. It feels like all these companies that used to make the figures, now the guys don't work for those companies, but they're allowed to make the figures. So it's like all the guys can have old school cool toys. Like that would be Attitude Era esque Bone Cruncher.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. That was it. And what really blew my mind was the first 2 years that was Gilberg. I was the number one wanted figure in Jack's Toys, and never got it made.
Why is that?
I could not tell you. From what I understood, Goldberg had a little something something in his contract says I get nothing. No video games, no action figures, no shirts, no nothing. And I never did. Did you that?
Yeah, that is true. Well, that's kind of a little crazy though, because if Gilbert was that popular and that over, he should get his own stuff too.
Yeah, I didn't understand it either. I thought for sure they were going to bring me in for his last match, but I guess they didn't want to overshadow him.
Really? What did you think? That they were just gonna have him beat you up, or did you think it was gonna be like you both baby faces, or how
I,
did you?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It could have been, you know, I was pitching everything to him, man, but I was hoping it'd be something like, he was about to lose the match, and then his music played again, and I came out on stage, which caused, you know, our boy to turn and look up at the stage, which left Goldberg wide open to let him turn around and spear him. Boom, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? And then I could
Yep.
tip my hat to him and walk off the stage. You know what I'm saying? Never say a word to him, never do nothing, but it would say thanks. You know what I mean?
Little respect nod there.
Yeah, exactly. Have a good one. Good retirement. See you later.
What's the relationship with you guys, or is there ever a
No,
relationship? Were you friendly or no?
he does not like me at all. Not at all.
Why is that?
He didn't understand. I guess he doesn't understand the business. You know what I mean? I'm actually not making fun of him. I'm making fun of his character. I'm not making fun of Bill Goldberg, even though his name is Bill Goldberg. Um, I'm making fun of the character he played in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? When he goes home, you don't walk in black tights and boots. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's what I was doing. I was making fun of the character, but he never understood that. I heard many, many stories about how he wanted to rip my head off and everything.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
But like when you think about it, like that's not the first time that a guy's been, remember, like obviously there was a fake Hogan, there was a fake
Yeah,
Macho. I mean, there's a fake
exactly.
Paul, there's a fake Nash.
And to be honest with you, the first night I was going out to do it, I was nervous as hell because Vince had stopped and like talked to me and he goes, "You ready for tonight?" I said, "Yes, sir, I'm ready." Because it was nothing to me. You know what I mean? I did it on the independents. And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And he goes, "Good, because I'm really counting on you." Oh, thanks for putting the weight of the world on me there, Mr. McMahon. I didn't say that to him, but you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
So I'm sitting in the locker room and I'm worried to death. And Hunter came in. He goes, "Dwayne, you okay, brother?" I said, "Man," I told him what Vince did. And I said, "Nah, I'm all worried." He goes, "Because you're always happy, man, walking around the locker room cheery." He said, "You've been quiet as hell." I said, "Man, Vince did this, and now I'm worried to death." He goes, "Man, remember when I did The Rock and all that stuff, and X-Pac was doing all that, and Billy?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Brother, if you walk out, trip and fall and roll all the way down the damn ramp and jump on and go, they're going to think it's part of it, no matter what. They don't
Right.
know what you do when you walk out there. You made up Gilberg. You do what you do." And I said, "Man, thank you, brother. Thank you." And everything, you know what I mean? I was fine after that. But yeah, I got Triple H thing for that, man. That's for sure.
When you look at it, though, like you're not necessarily inventing the Gilbert character, are you? Is WWE, or did you kind of invent the Gilbert character itself? Who's
Oh,
like the
I
genesis?
was I was making fun of all the boys on the independents. And how Gilbert came about was I had got the contract and I won the title as Dwayne Gill, if you remember, and I was part of the job squad.
Yes. Yes.
Gill is the longest reigning light heavyweight champion, not Gilbert. You know what I'm saying? Um, I won the title and everything, and I was doing it, and we were on the road, and I was talking to Paul Bear and Kane backstage, and I was telling them, "Yeah, man, on the road, back home, I was making fun of all the boys," and they're like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "I did Stone Old." I said, "I came out because I look just like Stone Cold." I said, "I was in the walker and everything. I took pool swimmies and made big braces on my legs and everything." Act like I couldn't do. He gives the finger. I'm going like I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it was funny as hell. And then I told him, I said I did the Underfaker. I wore a long wig and everything. Made
Yep.
funny. And then I did Gilberg. And Paul Bear, I still remember Percy looking at me and going, "Oh, Dwayne Gill, you may have something there, boy." And I was like, "Yeah, right." I was telling him about it and we laughed. And then the rest of the night, every time I walked by him, both of them would go, "Gilberg, Gilberg." And I was like, "Yeah, right, man, stop it." So the next day in catering, everybody started going Gilberg. So I went, made fun of it. And I thought that was the end of it, you know? And
Yep.
then I called home and they said, "Hey, we want you to do the Gilberg character." And I said, "Oh, I don't want to do it." And they said, "Why not?" And I said, "Because I just won my title. I don't want to lose it." And they're like, "Call you right back." And they called me back and they said, "Well, we came up with an idea. How about you wrestle heavyweights? You never lose your title. You're a light heavyweight." I said, "Sounds good to me. Gilberg will be there." And they said, "Bring your stuff." And they had no clue what I was going to do. The first time
That's
they, the first time they wanted me to wrestle Edge, and I said, "You want to make fun of the guy? Give me Luna." And Luna was actually going, "No, Dwayne, no, this is Raw, bud. No, no." I said, "Luna." let's be for real. You could probably kick my ass in real life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Joke, man. That's not a joke. That was a tough woman that was the kindest, nicest person you've ever met. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely.
She was a sweetheart. I don't know if you've ever met her. Luna was so kind and nice. I'm serious as a person. I mean, I know she played a tough out there, but if you ever saw her backstage, you wouldn't know it was the same person. A great. She was a great, great, great person. Mm-hmm.
With Gilberg, though, you're kind of like the genesis. Does Goldberg know that you created it though at that point, or not until he sees it on TV?
He don't know. I don't even think to this day he knows I created it.
Wow. Okay.
But
So, so
I
just heat for sake of heat.
wandered her out and threw another one across the room. It was like, I'm gonna kill this pig when I see him and everything. He was really mad when I did it.
So he doesn't believe in imitation is the highest form of flattery. He doesn't
No,
believe in that.
no. Mm-mm.
It
And
is funny. It is funny though. Like it lives on. You know what I mean? Like the
yeah,
imitation lives on.
no. He even when he first came back. Remember when he first came back and got the good run as the champ and everything, won the belt
Yep.
again.
Yep.
Well, we were doing before he started. We were doing an autograph session, a big event up in New York, and I said, man, I want to go down and talk to the guy, man. I said, you got him in a private room and everything. Let me go talk to him. I didn't realize the private room held 400 people, you know? And he was up on stage doing pictures and all. And they finally said, all right, said, come on down. So I went down and I walked up to him. When I did, he just grabbed me, pressed me over his head and everything. We did the pictures and all. And he sat me down and I shook his hand and everything. I said, glad to meet you and everything. And I told him, he's like, all right. He said, oh, by the way, he did go, hey, by the way, thank you, man. I said, for what? He said, if you wouldn't have been doing your thing, they might have forgot about me, brother. I do believe it's because of you always being out there that they're calling me back. And I said, well, good. While you're in a good mood, how about we do this match? I said, you'll get 1,000,000. I'll get 100,000. I'll be able to retire. Let's do it. He goes, nope. End the conversation.
But he did have a good like talk with you. How come he's
Yeah.
shooting it down?
Huh?
Why did he shoot it down though? It seemed like you guys were having a nice chat.
I guess if he wrestled me, he was solidifying the gimmick.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can figure. And I mean, if you've ever seen me work, man, I could still work plenty good enough that I could make him look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And do the deal and have some gaga in the match and then get caught at the end. Do the deal.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see why not. That would be kind of smart business there.
And it would have been good if I did something nice on his retirement match. If I did something came out and did something nice during the match, like maybe just say Gunther had him down and was about to win, and then his music hit again, and I came out on stage,
Yeah.
which caused Gunther to get up. I'm walking down the ramp. Goldberg gets up, shakes his head. Now he's ready. He's down in his position. Gunther turns around to go get him. Boom! Hit with the spear. 1, 2, 3. And then I kind of tip my hat to him. And he says, no, come on up, man. Holds my hand up and everything, does the good guy thing. And then as I turn around, boom, spear me. And then go and tip his hat to me and go, now we're done. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Would have been great. I mean, the crowd would have popped huge, man. I mean, especially when I walked out, we'd have tore the roof off the place. And then when he won because of me being nice, they'd have really popped. And then when he held my hand up, they'd have been cheering and everything. And then when I went to walk away, he got down, boom, speared my ass.
I like it.
As I turn around, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It would have been, man, it'd have been great TV to people to popped hard for it.
What did you think of the show just in general? Not really the show, but his final match against Gunther. Did you see it? What would you kind of think about it?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't even see it. Oh, wow. Okay.
Take it home in time, man. I tried. When I came in, he was done. It was done. It was over. And I was like, damn, man, I wanted to see it. More than anything, I wanted to see it. I'm trying to find it now online.
I was going to say it was kind of better than expectations, I think.
Oh, really?
I thought
Who
so.
even won? Did Goldberg win?
No, Gunther won. He passed Goldberg out. He went out on his back, if you will. He dropped out.
Class. At least on Goldberg's part, I'll give him that. That shows class. He was retiring and let Gunther win. That shows some class there.
Yep.
Shows he's learning the business anyway.
Right? It's good to go out.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
George. And Gunther is the shiznit now, man. I'll tell you that.
And he's the champ. He can't have the champ lose, right? Like that.
Is he too? I love it, man. I love it. Yes, I do. I love it.
So when you think about it, right, and you just look at Gilberg, but kind of the precursor, it means that you had to come back to WWE, right? And I always think about great Survivor Series 1998 when you return. I love it because there's a mystery guy. It's kind of unpredictable. Who's it going to be? Vince is really laying it on. He mentions the fact, which is so funny, that you went to WCW, which was like one match, I think, against you, Morris.
Yeah,
right? Is that right? Just one match?
Yeah, I wrestled Hugh Morris, and I went over the top rope. And when I did, I exploded. I mean, exploded my right shoulder. And Hugh Morris came out, and he threw me into the guardrail, hit me with a chair, and said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Throw me inside, man. My arm's done." And he did his finish on me, and they said 1, 2, 3. But I won because of the fact he threw me over the top rope. In WCW, that was an automatic disqualification.
Yes.
So that's what it said. He mounted a win-loss record, second to none down there. Want to know?
So true. I love it though. That he basically was kind of building you up as like this turncoat. You know what I mean? Like you left there for WCW.
Because everybody thought it was Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Everybody thought it was Shawn. And then I came out, and I honestly think what got me my job was when the pyro went off and I dropped down like I was scared to death and everything. They had no clue I was doing none of that. And I got up and I was like, I knew that was happening. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
The writers, it was Ed Zahn and it was Ed Farrar and Ed Zahn. They loved it. And that's what got me my job. I do.
Was it Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Vince Russo and Ed Farrar, yeah.
I love how Vince basically is kind of like really pumping up because you think Mankind, Mick Foley's on his side, right? He like at the beginning of the night, he's really trying to help him. So it's like, oh, well, whoa. He's bringing in a mystery guy. And then it's Dwayne Gill. And everyone's like, wait a second. What is going on here?
Brother, there was 19,000 people in that arena, and you could have heard a pin drop when I walked out there. It was like, everyone was like, yeah. What?
Come on, they were setting it up for Foley, right? I mean, they're setting up for Foley to win.
Yeah, so Foley could win it.
And obviously,
they were saying it like it was a big star coming out to really kick Foley's ass, but no. They thought Shawn Michaels was coming out there, and I come walking out. Yeah.
So great. What a great and Vince is so great on the mic at that point too. He did such a great job of putting that over.
Now you want to know something else?
Yes.
They did such a good job of keeping it a mystery opponent that an hour before the show, Mick walked up to me and goes, "Why ain't you dressed, Dwayne?" I said, "For what, Mick? This is a pay-per-view, brother." He goes, "Dwayne, you're my mystery opponent." I went, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, man, I'm wrestling you tonight." I said, "On a pay-per-view?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, cool."
Oh my God. How come?
Yeah,
How did
I
you?
thought I was there. They said they were just giving me, because I was like, when they asked me to come up, they wanted me to do TVs, and I said okay, which was Monday and Tuesday after the pay per view, and they brought me in Sunday. I said, "Well, that's the pay per view," and they said, "Well, Vince told me to bring you up, let you have an extra payday." I said, "Okay, no problem." That's what I thought. I was getting a free payday. I didn't know I was going to be on a pay per view. That was a real good payday.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. How come they didn't tell you like beforehand, like what your
Mystery. They secret, secret, secret. There's internet. You can't say nothing now. Like if they would have brought me up here, they'd have said, "Dwayne, I'm sending you a plane ticket. Be here." Okay. That's all they'd have said. They wouldn't have told me what I was doing. Nothing.
man? You have to be prepared and ready for anything. Like you really just don't know what's on the agenda there.
Right. I don't matter to me. It's wrestling, bro. You know what I
Did you?
mean?
Yeah, definitely. Did you think Foley was joking around and messing with you though?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, sir, buddy.
So when did they tell you that he's not joking? You know what I mean? Like how does that
No, he
go down?
said, "No, I'm serious. You got to get dressed, brother." It's like, oh my god. So I got up, got dressed, and that's when we went over everything.
That's great because you would think that
Yeah,
like
that's good
they would
stuff
tell you
there.
like a month ago. You would think they would have told you.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff, man. That's the
And for
way,
some reason,
because they were afraid of it getting out. Then it would have ruined the
yeah.
whole. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like it got over the way it should have as far as
Oh
that
yeah,
match?
oh yeah, it was perfect. If you could have walked out there and seen that there was not one person going, "Yay!" That's what they wanted. They wanted, "Yeah, yeah, all right, yeah," because they're all cheering, because when Vince is building me up, they're thinking, "Here comes Shawn Michaels, dude. Here comes Shawn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dwayne Gill. Yeah." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because back then I was just Jobber Joe.
Yep.
You know what I
What
mean?
did you what did you think about the random references to the Pasadena Chargers? What did you think about that? Because they would always mention that for some reason.
Because I was the coach of the Chargers, and I asked for him to do it. That was good.
Oh, I didn't know that you asked
I
them.
brought.
Okay.
Remember, I brought the whole team out on Monday Night Raw. The night I beat Mark Merrow.
That's right. So you wanted them to do that? Look at
Yeah.
that. Smart. Nice.
I love the Chargers, man. Them little guys, man. That was so cool. Coaching those kids. I did. That's what I did. Before I was put on the road too long. I loved it, man. I coached baseball and football, and let me tell you, I had some of the winningest teams out there.
Pasadena Chargers. I love that Jim Ross would just like randomly bring them up and randomly
Uh huh.
they're mentioning them. That's great.
Yeah, man. That was my team, man. If you could have seen them, we were going for the championship. Like 3 days after I got home from winning the title. And I went up to practice and had the title in a black bag and everything. I got them all huddled out on the 50-yard line. I said, "All right, guys, when you think you just can't win and you're going to get beat and there's just nothing you can do." And they're like, "Yeah, like we're going to get by the Hornets in 3 days." And I was like, "No, there's always that chance you can win. There's always that chance." You know how I know? And they said, "How?" And I pulled out my belt and I said, "Because I'm the light heavyweight." And they went, "Whoa." I mean, they were grabbing the belt and running all over the field. And I mean, it was unbelievable if you could have seen it. I wish I had film of it. It was unbelievable. It was so cool. Those kids, and we went out there, and by the third quarter, it was a slaughter roll. They called the game. They destroyed them.
They were so amped up from the
Yep.
title.
Yep, they were. It was unbelievable. 3 days later, man, they went out there and they just knew they had a chance to win, and they destroyed them. It was unbelievable.
I'm
And
loving the Pasadena
you
Chargers references.
get to play at the, at Anne Arundel Community College. You get to play at the college and all that stuff. It's a big, big game.
That's so cool that they're mentioning it in front of like millions of people because
Yeah.
obviously Attitude Era was
I
hot.
let them go around the stage and everything.
Yep.
My son was on that team.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's 2 players that were on that team with my son that we still tailgate together to this day.
Look at that. Nice. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
When you're there, right? Like going back to WWF and 1998 Survivor Series, do you have a contract? Do you talk to Jim Ross?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I got my contract, I laughed at Jim right in Jim Ross' face. I thought he was kidding me. He said, we want to put the light heavyweight title on you. And to do that, we got to give you a 3-year contract. I said, I started laughing. I said, Taker, Paul Bear. I said, Headbangers, where you at? Where you at? I'm looking around. And I finally turned around and looked at Jim. And he was looking at me like, and I went, you're not kidding, are you, Jim? He said, oh, no, son, that's a straight shoot. And I went, well, let me think about it. Yeah. And he said, well, call your wife first. I said, no. I ain't calling nobody. I've been up here long enough now. I've taken enough ass whoopings. I want to sign that thing right now. He said, well, let me get one. Let me get a contract. I'll just go sit down. I'll get the contract, and then we'll sign it. I was like, awesome. Yeah.
So Jim Ross is basically he's the one that wanted you and signed you.
Oh, I don't know who I don't know who wanted me, but Jim Ross is the one who was told, hey, let Dwayne Gill know we're going to sign him.
Was it that night at Survivor Series or before
No,
Survivor Series?
Monday Night Raw.
Oh, was that? It
No,
was 2 days later or a day later. Monday Night Raw. Okay.
about an hour before winning the title.
Nice. So
Yeah.
you're there Raw again, and you don't know what you're doing like until it gets closer to the show. I mean, that's crazy.
Good job, do my normal thing.
They're like kind of keeping everything close to the vest here with a lot of this stuff of not telling you what's going on.
When the writers went back that night, they watched the show, and then they said, man, this guy here is just happy to be in the ring, which that's me. I just love doing this. This is me, and that's why Gilberg got over because it's me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they said let's give this guy a shot, give him the light heavyweight title. And of course, the next night in the production meeting, they pitched it, and Vince bought it, so then it was time to tell me. That's how close everything was. Boom, 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 boom. That's how it happens. That's how it happens, brother. That's how it happens.
I love it. So how does you get told you're winning? Is it from JR or is it from the writers?
Oh, it's the writers.
So Russo and Ed are saying, hey, by the way, here's the plan for tonight.
JR says to you, we want to put the light heavyweight strap on you, and to do that, we got to sign you to a contract first. I think that's telling me I'm going to win, huh?
Well, yeah, absolutely, yes. That's kind of
the hell out of me. Christian was mad, I guess, man. He beat the hell out of me.
So he stiffed you in the match?
Yeah, I'm going to be the champ. I'm going to be the champ.
So Christian stiffed you in that match. He was getting a little even with you. He was getting his stuff in before taking the loss.
He was a little tight, but Christian works tight. You know what I mean? He was tight, but yeah, I don't blame him. I was tight when I was losing my title.
Were you shocked though, just as far as that? Because okay, they bring you in to Survivor Series, that happens, then the next night you're winning the light heavyweight title. Is it a lot of shock?
Yes, I was a maintenance man at the Board of Education. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the next day, I go back to work after winning the title. And I'm walking down the hallway and kids are emptying classrooms. I wasn't thinking about it. You know what I mean? I'm walking by their classroom and they go, oh my God. That's that guy that was on Raw last night.
That's got to be pretty surreal, to
Yeah.
say the least.
Uh-huh. 'Cause I
Because,
didn't.
man,
And the funny part was James Ellsworth. I was in his school, and I was fixing something. And he said, "Hey, Mr. Dwayne, aren't you a famous wrestler?" I said, "What kind of, Jimmy?" He said, "Well, why are you here?" I said, "Well, one day, sir, you'll know." And little did I know, he really knows.
yeah, he kind of years later he had the same kind of shock and
Yeah,
surprising role where he's challenging for the WWF World Heavyweight title against AJ Styles a few times, three
yeah,
times actually.
sir. Yes, sir. Remember, everybody thought I was going to win the heavyweight title against Triple H. Remember?
Yes.
And then I got carried out on a stretcher.
How close were you to winning the title? If you think about it, was there ever any talk about it that would
No,
happen as a shock?
no, no. Actually, the match that I had with Triple H, we were going to do it, and he was just going to come out and Pat Patterson told him to just destroy me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Throw me in the ring a bunch of times and kick my ass. And he goes, okay, all right, you got it. I was like, okay, no problem, you know. And then as soon as he walked out, Triple H goes, all right, now look, this is what we're gonna do. He goes, we're not gonna do what he wants to do. He goes, we're gonna blow the roof off this place. He said, when I turn my back, I want you to spear me. He said, hit me hard, Dwayne. I said, you got it. He said, do it 3 or 4 times. I'll step to the side one time and you keep on going and hit the turn, hit the post. He said, when you do, I'll beat you up with a chair and we'll take you out on a stretcher. I said, okay, gotcha, buddy. You know? But he said, man, let's take the roof off this place. And we did, man. I mean, them people were going nuts. By the third spear I gave him, they were going nuts. And he was selling for me and everything. Oh, man, he that man knows his stuff, I tell you. Look at the way the business is going now that he's running it. I mean,
Yep.
I'm sorry, it's doing way better than it was. You know?
For
Way
sure.
he's he's
Billion
he's
billions now. Yeah.
brilliant. He really is.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
a while there, I got to be honest, with Vince at the helm, it was not good. It was pretty boring for a
Oh,
while.
starting to get wah. And see, Triple H is going back to old school with a little new school. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's working. It's working good. You know, he's doing wrestling, but he's also doing a TV show. And it's working, you know?
Yep.
And
So
what was
when
happening
you
was it was turning from hard, from wrestling the way it was into like a soap opera TV show and really not much wrestling at all. And that's why P. Wyatt went, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And now they're going back to arenas. They're starting to, I mean, what they've got 50 straight sellouts or something like that now. It's unbelievable. I mean, they're doing phenomenal.
They are doing pretty damn good. They're, obviously making billions upon billions. They're just
Uh,
killing the game right now.
Killing it. I mean, killing it.
So you're still keeping up with it, huh? You're still a
Oh,
fan,
yeah.
it sounds like.
Watch it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm missing it right now. No, last night.
Yes, yes. You got to watch from last night. Yes, catch
uh,
up.
NXT now.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah, we can find out what happened at the Great American Bash.
When you're looking at it, right? When you go back talking about WWF and looking at your run there, so you're light heavyweight champion. You mentioned the Mark Merrow thing, which is great with the Pasadena Chargers there. Are you told like, hey, you're going to be light heavyweight champion for a specific amount of time? Are
No.
they mentioning it to you or no? Oh, some reason I can't hear you. I lost your audio.
Are you there now?
Yep. Yep. There you go.
James Ellsworth is calling me.
Oh my God! Wow, what a weird coincidence. He must have heard his name being
I
mentioned.
ain't kidding you, man. That's weird. That's why I said Charles is calling me right now. I just had to hang up on him.
So I was saying about the light heavyweight title.
Uh
Did they
huh.
tell you? Did they tell you anything as far as
Now,
length of time with it?
how long you gonna have it? You have no clue. When you decide you're gonna lose, they say you're gonna lose title, right? Okay. See that I love Bret Hart. I traveled for years on the road. I not with Bret, but wrestled on the same cards and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So he was on the road with us all. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, and super nice guy, great guy. Still to this day, I have a good rapport with him. But everybody says, you know, everything about that who screwed who, screwed who, screwed who, screwed who, screwed who, right?
Yep.
Let me ask you this. I told you tonight you're going to win the title, right?
Hmm.
And you win the title. Who gave you that title?
If it was Vince at that point.
No, but I'm talking about right now, right now. Who just
Oh,
gave
you.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, in a year from now, I want you to lose that title, and I tell you, you got to lose tonight. And you tell me no. Case rested.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
You know what I mean? Come on, bro.
Yep.
It's the business. If you know it, you know it. When you win the dang on title, you know you're going to lose it. You can't predict where and when. Who does? Who owns that company that owns those titles? That's who predicts where and when you lose your title and where you win it.
As Vince called it, the time-honored tradition. He referred to it as.
Bro, I love Brett. I would love to say Brett's 100% correct, but the boys, every boy that back Brett knows deep inside they're just backing their friend. You know, in
Mm.
real life, no matter what. I mean, it was pretty harsh that Vince is making him lose it in Calgary. But Vince coordinated the entire deal with WCW to make Bret Hart the highest paid wrestler in the history of wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I don't get it. I understand Bret not wanting to lose it in Calgary. I really do. But no matter what, he gave you the title. He made you look like a king for how long? And he just wants you to lose it for him before you leave, before you step and get your super paid job.
So were
It's
you?
I orchestrated for you.
Yep. So as far as like obviously we're kind of talking about holding the title for a long period of time. You're not told when you're going to lose it, but you know you're going to lose it. Are you surprised at the length of your title reign though? Because it was very,
Yeah,
obviously you said super long.
yeah, yes. I'm very, very, very surprised, and I thank God every day, and Vince, and everybody else, and Al Snow for inventing the Job Squad. Because I mean, as far as Job Squad, who better to be on it? You know?
Yeah. So you had no problems with the job squad. I know it's a little bit of tongue in cheek, but no issues with the
No,
gimmick
I'm
at all.
a jobber, dude, and I get upset with people calling me enhancement talent. I'm not enhancement talent. Enhancement talent. Let me explain something to you. There's two wrestlers in a match, right?
Hmm. Yep.
None of them are enhancement talent. They're the actual talent. Enhancement talent is a dog, is a valet, is a manager, is you know what I'm saying? Is guards, is whatever you want. That's the enhancement talent, something to enhance the match, not the actual match itself. That those guys are wrestlers, and somebody loses every time, which is called doing the job. I lost every time, so I was a jobber. You understand it? How
Hmm.
it,
Yep.
I don't. I don't mind being called a jobber. That I didn't mind being a jobber. I wrestled the very best in the world night after night after night, and that's how I got as good as I did. Even though I lost, I don't care. I still made more money than 90% of them out there. They were doing exactly what I was doing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Say what you want. I was a jobber. If you ask my partner who taught me how to wrestle, Barry Hardy, he'll tell you right out. We were jobbers, dude. That's what it's called, doing a job.
Right.
I used to make jokes. I go, yeah, I can tell you how many lights are out in the arenas all over the country.
How come some guys don't like that term? They just hate saying jobber. I don't know. Like, what's up with that?
I don't know. I like jobber. I don't like enhancement talent. I feel like I should be going, hi, enhancement talent here.
Right. I guess that was a Vinceism, right? Vince invented that phrase,
Nah,
enhancement talent, or where did that come from?
Vince invented jobber. That's what we were.
Yeah.
I
Where
don't
did
know
that
who
come from?
enhancement talent.
No idea, huh?
No, but come on, man. And
What a, what an interesting like career though. Like you said, jobber to the stars, if you will, like all those. When you initially got there, how do you initially get in? Like in the early '90s, and obviously you and Barry were teaming and stuff. Like, how does that even
Larry
happen? How do
Sharp
you get in?
sent us up. Pretty boy Larry Sharp. He knew the people booking back then for WWF, and we started it. We started in WWF, not E. We started in WWF, and they needed jobbers because you had the big names, and then you had the jobber, and I went up and did a tryout at Larry's school, and he said, "Yeah, you guys are more than welcome to go up there. You're plenty good enough. I'll book you." Thank you, Larry. And we started going. And they kept asking for us every time after that.
I guess that's early '90s, right? Probably 90, 91 ish.
90, 91 is exactly right. 92, 93, 94,
Yeah.
95, 90.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's great though, because if you think about it, you had more TV time than a lot of the guys that were TV
Oh,
stars, quote unquote.
and you got to remember, see, we were also the executioners.
Mm,
A lot of times on TV, you would see us as Dwayne Gill or Barry Hardy, or Dwayne Gill and Barry Hardy, or you would see us as the executioners, or both on the same program.
right. Yes. Does that
And
mean double pay?
yeah, uh, yeah, oh yeah, and plus, they sent us on the road for years on the B tour. We weren't contracted, but me and Barry wrestled 25 days a month, every month for years
As the executioners.
as the executioners.
Who comes up with that gimmick? I mean, that's an old school gimmick, but who
Barry,
who made you guys executioners?
let's start the executioners back up, brother, so we can wrestle twice as much. I said, sounds good to me. Because if
That
they were
also,
tag team and we just wrestled, they would say, "Put the hoods on, man." All right, gotcha.
and nobody would know, right? I mean, that's like an old
That's
school
right.
thing.
That was us for a long time, and then people started figuring it out. My big mouth, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I always sold a lot.
yeah. So who actually, I know Larry gets the hookup. Who actually is the one that books the talent? Like, is that Tony Garea, or who's like the guy that actually ends up booking the guys on the shows?
Goulet and Chief.
Oh, Goulet and Chief. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting. That
they
obviously
were,
it's
they were some good guys. You know that?
good relationship with those guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. All three of them, super cool, nice guys. But see, I was total old school. That's why they got along with me. You know, I was old school all the way. Barry taught me nothing but old school.
When you initially are there, right, and you see names on the board, are you like hoping to work with guys, or you don't even care? Like, hey, Undertaker, awesome, like, or that doesn't even like kind of cross your mind.
Remember when Taker came in? I was there before Taker.
But they're just using him as like a for
Oh,
instance, like just to see names. Are there guys you want to wrestle there, or
oh
you're just
yeah,
that?
everybody, man. I was like, cool. cool. I'm wrestling. And then it got to the point where you say, hey, man, can I wrestle so and so? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so then after a while,
Uh,
they kind of let you wrestle whoever you want.
yeah, and a lot of times they would say, hey, Dwayne, you want to work tonight? Yeah, sure thing. All right. Hey, Tony, give me so and so. Give me Gil. All right. Because
They liked working you. They trusted you.
we wrestled the Road Warriors so many times, it was unreal.
What did you think about working them? Were they stiff, snug, a little
No,
rough? Or
they were a good guy. I remember the night that I said, Barry, I'm gonna tell him, let's change the match. He goes, Dwayne, you better shut your mouth. I said, I'm going over. I went over. I said, hey, Joe, Mike. They were like, yeah. I said, can I talk to you about the match? They're like, yeah. And I said, you know how, like, at the beginning, when you guys take your shoulder pads off, we turn our backs to you and then you run over and beat us up? And they go, yeah. I go, well, in real life, if I knew I was going to fight somebody your size and you turned your back to me, I'm on your ass because I'm getting at least one punch. You know what I mean? And he
Mhm.
goes, so what are you thinking? I said, how about this? How about we do this? When you go to put the shoulder pads out, we'll attack you, beat on you. You don't really have to sell it. We'll put you into the rope side by side, like we're going to double whip you off. You know what I mean? In other words, Barry's going to whip Hawk. I'm going to whip Animal. Okay? I said, we'll go to whip you. You reverse it. We'll hit the ropes, come back. You guys double press us. I said, when you do, Hawk, you take Barry and do the Arn Anderson thing. Do him head first in the corner. I said, and he'll sell and stay in the ring. I said, Animal, you walk over, look at the crowd, and just drop me out of the ring from a press. He goes, man, that'll kill you. I said, man, just do it. If you drop me flat, it'll be good. So he said, I don't know if we can do that. I got to go talk to Vince. So he went and talked to Vince. And they come out and they found us and they said, Vince wants to talk to you. I went inside. He said, is this true what they said you want to do? I said, yes, sir. My job is to put you guys over. That's what I'm here for, to make you guys look good. And he goes, well, yeah, it's true. I said, yes, sir. He said, you signed your release? I said, yes, sir, I did. He said, drop him. Just like that. So we started doing that for a while.
How was the relationship with Vince? Did you guys get along well?
Well, it wasn't like I sat down and chit chatted with him. It was always hi, Mr. McMahon, bye, Mr. McMahon. I'd say about 5 times in all the years I was up there and traveled up there, he had his breakfast and come walking by and he said, mind if I sit down? And we were like, please have a seat, and had breakfast with us. You know what I mean? But I I didn't see the the McMahon on the McMahon tapes or whatever you want to call it. I saw a very prominent, respectful man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, to be honest with you, because if you ever saw him backstage and all back then, you would know that it just, you didn't think nothing like that. You know what I mean? And it was a this, and you saw Shane and Steph and Linda and everything. You know what I mean? It was always family, family, family. Everything was family oriented. It was really, really fun being there. You know?
Yep. When he's there, right? Is he the one that comes up with the toxic turtles, or is that somebody else with that crazy
No,
gimmick?
that was me too. Uh, Me and Barry were doing them on Independence, and we took them up there like 6 months straight. And then finally, I said, "The hell with it, Barry. I'm doing it." And I put them on in the locker room, went outside, like in an area where everybody was sitting, all the boys, and started dancing around and like spinning around and everything, like break dancing. And when I stopped, I like, laying on my side like this and all. And I see these alligator shoes, and he goes, "Who's in there?" And I went, "Oh man," you know. And I stood up. He goes, "Who's in there?" And I took the mask off. He goes, "I should have known, man." He goes, "You got another one?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I do." He goes, you're wrestling the Turtles next. And I went, we can't do it next, Mr. McMahon. He goes, why? I said, look, and I pointed at the monitor. And I said, Barry's in the ring. He goes, I said, Jesse dressed fast. I said, yes, sir. So I came up with something to do. And when Barry came back, he was soaked, man. We dried him off with a towel, man. Three of us were squeezing him into this outfit. Because if you ever try to get into a pair of tights wet, you know it's impossible.
Hmm.
And we squeezed him into it, and we went out and did the deal.
What a hell of a gimmick! I don't know if it's as good as Gilberg, but the Toxic Turtles is pretty memorable.
Hey, man. I was doing anything. I told Vince one time, I said, look, Vince, I don't even care if you dress us as two turds and call us, get your shit together. We just want a job. He laughed his ass off.
I loved like the creativity because like not only the Toxic Turtles but the Executioners, you know what I mean, but Gilberg too, because it's not just a fake Goldberg, but you're doing the Who's First and you know the Sparklers and O and 173 instead of 173. You know, so like you're pretty creative with some of this stuff. You're really you're really thinking about it.
You know, it is what it is when you do it. I mean, I love the business. I love the business. The only way to put it.
And when you have those returns, who's contacting you? Because you return for The Rock and Goldberg, you return years later for the 50th anniversary, and then even for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, the office calls and says, "Hey, you want to come up on this date?" Sure thing. They don't tell me what I'm doing. You want to come up? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. When I
And
came
that
up,
probably
Howard Finkel called me, and I said, "What are you calling me for, Howard?" He goes, "Vince told me to find Dwayne Gill. I'm finding Dwayne Gill. Are you available on these days?" I said, "Yes, sir, I am." He said, "I'll send you plane tickets." I said, "Yes,
nice.
sir."
Perfect.
That's how it happened. That's exactly how it happened.
Goldberg probably not happy to see you again, like 03, 2017, but it is what it is. I mean, it's great.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. He's a multi-millionaire, and I work every day, so
right.
And I could be retired, not have to work every day if he would have allowed action figures. I mean, a box set with him and me would have been unbelievable. It has sold out. I mean, because kids would have kept us as tag teams or battled each other. It would have sold unbelievable. You know, there's so much
Absolutely.
money where I could have been okay. I would have been okay in life. Would have had a lot of money, but oh well, is what it is. Things are coming my way. Like I said,
Definitely.
I want to show you something. Look.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what it is.
Yes. Drum roll, please.
Yes, drum roll, please. It is. Do-do-do-do.
It's my book. Check it
The
out.
book. There it is.
There it is, right there. All you gotta do is go on Barnes and Noble and put this in, or right here, or Dwayne Gill Sr. Either one. A Grappler's Job or Dwayne Gill Sr. and it goes right to the book. Boom. I believe it's $19.99. It's a hardback too.
Nice. It looks like it's a pretty big book too. I like that.
Yeah, it's in pretty good font. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's got pictures, a lot of pictures in it too. It's got pretty good font though. See, so it isn't real teeny tiny. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of me with everybody and everything. Bunch of stuff in there. See it? Ah!
Oh yeah, look at that. Nice.
Yeah. Yes, sir, everybody. There's a lot of them, man. It's an interesting read, and it also has in there about where I came home champion, and my dad. I mean, my whole life, man, I was with my dad. Me and my dad were super, super, super wrestling fans. Every chance we got, man, wrestling used to come on once a week at 4:00 on Saturday. And every single Saturday, no matter what I was doing, if it was close to 4:00, I ran home as fast as I could. and my dad would have popcorn sitting on the couch, and I'd sit on the floor, and man, we'd eat popcorn and watch it, and go to every show we could. We moved to Florida for a while, and we had standing reservations at the Eddie Graham Sports Arena every single month, sitting right 2 rows back from the ring, right on the aisle they walked out to. Tapping Dusty Rhodes, and Eddie Graham and all that, man, when they first started on the back and everything. Yeah.
It's a fan for life, long time fan.
Oh, from 3, 4 years old up.